So guess what happened? As I spoke of recently in a recent video, we got packages from Mann Lake. These are Saskatraz bees. 2 out of 3 were dead. Look in here. All the bees are dead on the bottom. And look at the green stuff down there. That is high fructose corn syrup gel. I'm going to wash these bees. Why? Because I want to find out, are there any mites in with them? We might as well. They're already dead. So we're going to put some of this Dawn detergent in here. That's going to be the release agent. Now this is similar to what you would do with live bees if you were going to do a mite count. But these are already dead. So we got nothing to lose. We can test hundreds of them. 1,000 of them if you want to. All 3 pounds. So I'm just scooping them in here. This is hot water, of course mixed up with this dish soap. Just stir them in there. Put a couple good scoops in. Keep stirring them for a while. I won't make you watch the entire sequence there. Look at this. This is that green gel that came with it, and the bees were stuck all over it. It was free floating through the pack. Fell out of the jar that it came in. Not good news. You can hear honeybee flying around. One escaped, so that's good to know. We got a couple alive there. So we're going to watch the water. We're going to see little bits and pieces floating around. Look at them all. Are any of those Varroa mites? That's what we want to know. If a package of bees came already loaded with Varroa mites, we would want to treat the package, or we want to treat the mites before the bees get into capping their pupa. So this is a great opportunity. See all these bits and pieces? They look suspicious. I'm going to show you how to check them out. So of course I backlit it, stir it a little more, look for the little bits and spots and bee toes and whatever else is in there. There goes a bee abdomen. And nothing really looks like a mite yet, but we're going to find out. I'm going to show you what to do after things settle here. Looking at the bits and pieces on the bottom as well. But we can't count them this way. So what we're going to do is we're going to count them on a coffee filter. I'm going to show you what I do. I put this white colander in the sink there. And then I'm going to take a large paper coffee filter. This is what I use for my mite counts normally. And I'm going to center it there and get it wet because we want it to stick. I don't want it to move when I start to pour the water in here that I'm going to wash over the bees that we're looking at. That's good enough. And you notice the water just pours right through it. Now I'm going to use this screen and I'm going to pour the dead bees into that, and I'm going to wash them off onto and through the coffee filter. So here we go. Now one of the things you want to be aware of when you're doing this, make sure that the water going into the colander below does not go higher than the edges of your paper coffee filter. We don't want anything to get away. We want to know what's in there. And I'm going to pull out that little piece of gel too, because we don't need that, but I wanted to give you a close-up. I think this is the culprit. It made a lot of the bees sticky, bees that still seemed alive that otherwise probably would have made it. And the gel seemed like a good idea. It was up inside a plastic jar. This is slow motion, of course. And I think there was some rough handling maybe too. And these bits and pieces fell out. Some people, when they were dumping their packages into their hives, watched chunks of this gel go into the hive too. So you want to get that out of there before you install your packages. Now we're back to normal speed. All these bees, they didn't really need to die, I suppose. You can also look at the bodies of the bees to see if anything is on them, but if there were dead mites on them, this is a pretty good way to wash them off. Keep in mind, see the little edge there? Make sure that your water never goes above that. We don't want to lose any evidence here. We're dealing with reputations. You want to make sure your counts are legitimate. Because the question is, hey, if there's no mites in here, maybe you don't need to treat your bees. And it's a great opportunity to check them out, just like I said. Now I'm using a Corel plate, and it's white because that's going to give me the best contrast, and I flip it over and I use the back of it. So I'm also going to peel my coffee filter out here, lay it on the back of this very expensive Corel dining ware. And you can see little black bits and pieces on there. I have a macro camera standing by in case I find a mite. Let's take a close look here. All the little bits and pieces that were in suspension are now on the filter. But guess what? And I'm not disappointed. None of these are mites. They're not even parts of mites. They're little bee parts and little random tan pieces and little amber colored chunks of maybe propolis looking stuff. Maybe bits of wax. Not one mite. That's good news, because I have another package that's alive. And based on my mite counts with this package, I see no reason to do an early single treatment of oxalic acid vaporization, because there's no justification for it. The packages came together. I'm going to count them all as clean. 2 packages were dead. Neither of the dead outs had evidence of mites in them. So that's good news. This will satisfy a lot of people that were wondering what to do. You can also do mite counts on your live bees if you want to, but when a package comes in, wait, let them get settled first. That's my suggestion. But here we go. Lots of dead bees, no mites. Possible rough handling. They were definitely all sticky from that high fructose corn syrup gel. Not excited about that. Thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.